is KUGAN CASSIUS for Rifle TV in association with Macklin Marbella with a press conference here for David Haye to announce his opponent on May the 21st. Here we go, Arnold Jerzaj.
The Cobra.
The Cobra, not Froch.
No, not Froch. This is a little Cobra. This is the big Cobra.
Obviously, big talking point from today, apart from your fight on the 21st, was the introduction of Shannon Briggs into your press conference.
I know you brought him down, didn't you? You did.
I didn't bring him down here.
I knew you had something to do with it, just to get extra views. You do anything for viewers, don't you?
I just saw him outside there.
Oh, you just bumped into him outside?
I bumped him outside. I said, by the way, do you know Dave's having a press conference today?
Yeah, so how it went down, is it?
Is he really, man? Oh, let's go, champ. So that's how it went down. But,
did it really? That's the question.
He's been looking for you for 2 weeks. He went to your gym, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you were in that day. But
apparently not. Yes, he's been tracking me down. I had a sneaking suspicion at some stage he'd track me down. I was maybe going around a supermarket. I was expecting him to scrump out, but no cameras there, so it was always likely that he'd turn up here. But I understand it. He wants a big fight. He wants to get that big fight that he hasn't had for a while. And it's in England, so is he going to come and chase down? He's going to come down and chase down the Haymaker. The Cannon's going to chase down the Haymaker. If he wants to fight on the undercard, I'll let him fight on the undercard. If he wants to prove that he can pass his medical and get in the ring, and the British Boxing Board of Control will license him to fight, that's the big hurdle for me. I'm like, this guy how old is he?
44.
44. Took a hell of a shellacking in that Vitali fight. But if he can get medicaled and the fans want it, then if he wants to get beat up, then I'd oblige him.
But you were serious about him fighting on the undercard, and
if he wants to do it, well, this will show me how serious he is. One thing saying I want to fight, you want a big fight. But okay, fight in the undercard, see how you look. If you look good, if he goes out there and loses to someone, I'm like, okay, then it wasn't really worth even talking to me. But if he goes out there and blasts somebody out and looks good, and everybody watched on TV goes, if I want to see David Haye fight Shannon Briggs, then we can genuinely, seriously talk. Because if he wants to do that, then that could be something that I'd love to do. I personally think I'll beat him pretty easy. I know he's got a great chin, but I've got a great punch, and I've fought many people. For example, Derek Chisora, he went 12 rounds with Vitaly Klitschko the same way Derek Chisora did against Vitaly Klitschko. But both went 12 rounds. But when I fought Derek Chisora, I knocked him out in 5 rounds. Just because he got a 12-round beating from Vitaly doesn't mean you can go 12 rounds with me. It doesn't work that way. I punch way harder than Vitaly Klitschko, always have done. So if he thinks he's tough enough to go 12 rounds with me or even win against me, he's going to have a hard night. But I'm not hyping that fight up. Yeah, you got you into fight mode instead. I started thinking about fighting him. Then I got the Cobra.
Germany,
I got the Cobra. I got the Cobra to worry about first.
29-0, 21 knockouts.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that sort of boxing fans may or may not have heard of the Cobra.
You've heard of the Cobra, but not this one.
Not this one.
This is
Why this decision to fight Arnold?
First off, I wanted someone taller than me for starters. I said I want to fight someone taller than me. I want to fight someone unbeaten. I want to fight someone who's got quick hands and moves. What I don't want is just someone standing up and down so I can just hit me one shot and fall over. This guy isn't that guy. There's a lot of guys in the top 10 who we talk to, but when they realise they're coming over to England to fight on a bigger end, they ask for stupid money, and the whole show didn't make as much money as they were asking for. So really. It's one thing saying I want to fight you, it's another thing saying I want to cash out paycheck. There's a lot of fighters out there who have had knockout losses. I didn't want anybody who had a knockout loss. I wanted someone unbeaten, because unbeaten fighters normally give you that extra little bit more. It takes that little bit more to beat an unbeaten fighter. I remember fighting Jacob Fragamini many years ago. He was 21-0 at the time. Hadn't fought any big names from Italy. Only fought in Italy. Fought your typical journeyman. But come fight night, he took a hell of a lot of punishment to stop this guy. He cut my eye. It was a real sort of life and death battle. And not that I want that much of a battle, but I want someone with that same spirit and mentality who genuinely comes to win. And the fact that he's been sparring with Vitaly Klitschko, Tyson Fury, Tony Thompson, Marco Huck, he's been around the scene and he's learned from these sparring sessions. And he's got a big punch. He's unbeaten. It's easy for people to pick holes in an opponent. They've never seen him lose. So it's hard to dig someone like that out. But as far as I'm aware, it's practice for when I fight for a world title.
A few weeks ago, you said that there were 3 or 4 options for you.
Yeah.
Can you reveal any of those other
No,
options?
I don't want to give those guys any publicity, to be honest. This guy, was very reasonable in terms of what he wanted from the fight, which led me to believe that he's confident that he's going to win the fight. When someone says, "Oh, I want $1 million to come over," I'm like, "Really, dude?" First of all, there's no TV at the moment. It's a non-TV show right now. Hopefully we'll get a terrestrial television network to cover the fight, which obviously it's not a pay-per-view event, so the numbers aren't that great. So the reason why you come over here is to beat me and then go on and then earn the big money. And this guy, as far as he was ready to come and fight, he's like, okay, let's do it. So it's nice to see someone willing to come over and fight for reasonable money because he believes he's going to win. And it's nice to see. Let me know that the guy's a serious guy.
Talking about your TV network, is it a possibility you could go back on Dave?
It's a possibility, yeah. I'm speaking to a number of free-to-air networks, and hopefully I should have some news in the next couple of weeks.
Tyson Fury's convinced that Charles Martin will beat Anthony Joshua. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, I can see where he's coming from. Charles Martin's undefeated himself. Charles Martin's awkward southpaw. I'm not sure if Tyson Fury sparred with him or not, but a lot of people I know are saying the same thing. They believe there's going to be a big upset. They believe the odds makers and Joshua's team have kind of got it wrong. They probably looked at videotapes of him knocking over some little fat puddings and tried to judge him on that. And behind closed doors, apparently he's a lot more of a handful. But it's going to be an interesting fight while it lasts. I'm backing Anthony Joshua to win and win in style, but he may have to get off the canvas. He may have to get hurt like he did first time round. But I believe he's Olympic champion for a reason. He's had 15 fights and 50 knockouts for a reason. I believe when the going gets tough, he's going to grit his teeth and he's going to find a way. And I believe his superior conditioning. He's in a fantastic condition athlete. You can just look at him and see that there's no stone left unturned in terms of training and conditioning. So I believe that's going to pay dividend in this particular fight.
David, can you make some comment on Lucas Browne failing a drugs test after his win over Shagath?
Yeah, I was really disappointed in that. I really congratulated him on that victory. I didn't think he had the skill set to do that. But I think ironically a fat burner was found in his system. I didn't really see the benefit of a heavyweight having a fat burner. And if he should get a refund really, because he wasn't that lean really for that fight. So whoever gave him the fat burner was probably a dud or whatever it was. But it's a shame, he's a professional athlete. He
maintains his innocence.
He maintains. Yeah. Listen. And for all we know, he's innocent. For all we know, someone may have spiked his drinks. He might have drank. So you don't know. It's easy just to point the finger. It was in his system, and as an athlete, you're responsible for what's in your system. It's a tough situation. I really do feel for him, because if he is innocent, if he didn't take anything, that knowingly take anything, then your heart goes out to him. If he did do it, but the only person knows is him. That's it, and that's the only person who knows. It's just down to personal opinion. I don't really know him, to be honest. I don't know him I don't think I've met him before. But every interview I've seen with him, he seems like he's not the type of guy to do stuff like that. But, you could have said that by many people over the years who have failed. But I'd like to believe that he's innocent. But it's just a shame, regardless of whether he's innocent or guilty in terms of knowingly taking it. The damage is done. The test is positive, and that's it. It's like someone, whether you want to be pregnant or not, if the pregnancy test says you're pregnant, that's it. You could want it whichever way you want it. It is what it is. So just got to deal with it and do his ban and come back.
Final word on Nick Blackwell. You're very generously donating 10% of your ticket gate to Nick Blackwell.
Yeah.
First of all, what did you make of the situation?
I thought it was a fantastic fight. It was on Channel 5. Everyone I know watched it, and at the time I was getting loads of texts. Oh, what a great fight! It's amazing. It was really good to be getting British Championship boxing on free channel. A lot of people who don't have Sky or don't have BoxNation were watching it and sending me messages, and this is great. It's just a really kind of a sour taste it left in everyone's mouth. Obviously with the injury, he showed such great heart, determination. He showed all the qualities that you would want to see in a young, contender, a young fighter who hopefully can move on to world class sort of aspirations. But you know, he was fighting a very, very good world class Chris Eubank Jr., who I've seen up close and I've sparred with him, and he's a great fighter. I've seen him spar with George Groves many times, Carl Froch, and he's the real deal. And it's just unfortunate that Blackwell had to go through him for the British title, and it just shows the levels. You know, Chris Eubank Jr. is world level. There's no question about it. No one's going to contest that he's not world level. And Nick Blackwell's British level, genuine British level, and that's what happens when you get someone stepping up possibly too high a level. But then again, he didn't step up. It was Chris Eubank went down to fight for the British title. Now maybe he's above that. I believe he's above British level title, but I think it was just a title he wanted. But I think it definitely does highlight. Now, how about if Chris Eubank's world level fighter hasn't won a world title, but he's a world level fighter. He's gone down to British level and fought Nick Blackwell, who was a genuine British level fighter, I believe. Great record, great resume, tough guy, does everything. Now Chris Eubank, hypothetically, could go down a lot lower level and fight in the Olympics, and fight a 17-year-old boy from Sweden in the Olympics. And the Olympics will say, that's fine. What's he going to do to that poor little kid? You know, so I think this highlights the fact that just a leveling from British level to world level in professional boxing, the golf, and you saw the potential repercussions from that. Now you're talking a world level down to Olympic level, where you get guys who had, people at the Olympics who had 20 amateur fights. They might have come through the Africa's Cup or whatever it is, where they can qualify through their own particular part of the world. And you get some novices getting in there. They're going to get absolutely annihilated. And I think this should, the penny should drop that a professional, world-class professional fighter should not be any way fighting amateurs, because it's tough enough anyway as a professional. Now you're going to fight an amateur. It's crazy. So I think hopefully, it will highlight the levels in boxing and how dangerous it can be when one fighter tries to jump up too high too soon.
David, thanks for talking to IFL TV, and we will catch up with you on Fight Week.
No problem.
Best of luck. Thank you, mate.